Hi everyone, Spiderman 1991 here with my comic reviews for the week. And, well, this I'm going to try to be brief because I only have 3 comics this week. And 2 Marvels and only 1 DC. And this isn't what I normally do, but since I only have 1 comic from DC, I'm just going to start with that. Batman and Robin number 24. Not much really happens in this issue, except it just starts off with Jason Todd. He's just been broken free by this band of human-animal mutants, whatever. And they pretty much say that they've been hired by someone to bring Jason back to them alive. But Jason doesn't want to go. So he fights back, tries to gain the upper hand. But just when it's all over for Jason, Batman and Robin show up. But they want to get Jason and bring him back to prison. So Batman and Robin are trying to fight off the animal-human mutants. And during that, though, and Jason's also fighting back. And when he does, he's able to take a hostage and pretty much say that he's going to says that he's going to leave. But then, all of a sudden, the line guy gets a call from their boss saying who wants to talk to Jason. And she explains that apparently this group of animals is called the Zoo Crew, and that Jason's going to surrender to her because she has his ex-sidekick from an earlier issue of Batman Robin, Scarlet, back when Jason was being was trying to portray Red Hood in more of an anti-hero sort of way. And so they have Scarlet as sort of a ransom, saying that Jason needs to come back alive or they're going to kill her. And Batman and Robin apparently decide to help Jason out by taking him to one of his former hideouts. And while he's there, Damian's trying to talk to Dick about forming a plan, but Dick tells him that the best thing they can do is just get through the situation, adapt to whatever comes next, because Dick tells Damian that Jason probably has this entire place wired and he can hear everything we're saying. And then Jason just replies, "Yeah, he's right about that." And Jason comes up wearing a Red Hood costume that he made that looks like well, to be honest, Jason's new Red Hood costume looks like his previous two Red Hood costumes just kind of put together and stuff. Okay. And that's where it ends. Alright, I'm pretty sure the next issue, the conclusion to this, it's going to end with Batman Robin versus Red Hood and Scarlet again. I missed out on the initial arc where Jason returned as Red Hood, and I don't want to miss what happens next issue because it should look good with Dick Grayson kind of fighting Jason Todd. I always considered Dick and Jason more of like Batman and the Joker, but I don't know. With the plans after the relaunch, though, they're going to put Jason in a series and give Jason his own title with Arsenal and Starfire, make it sort of an anti-hero group. But yeah, Jason is kind of an anti-hero. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, Batman Robin number 24. If you haven't been reading this so far, this is probably your last. Well, you can probably wait till next issue anyway, because I'm pretty sure they're going to recap it. So either this issue or next one, you can just jump on the story there. And next issue, it's going to conclude, so that's all I'm saying. Alright, now for Marvel. And here's here's an ending. Annihilators, issue 4 and the final issue of this series. Alright, we get a nice little recap from Quasar. And apparently they're trapped in limbo trying to save the Wraith species from... Well, they're in limbo, which is ruled by Immortus, who's an alternate version of Kang the Conqueror. And right now the Annihilators are trying to save the Wraith species, who are pretty much in a weak state at this point. They're in a poor living conditions and everything, so they're trying to do their best to save the Wraith species from Immortus' armies right now. But this is all pretty much preventing their real plan, which is to move Wraith World back into the regular universe, so that it can still be connected with the Black Star. That's trying to swallow the Galador sun. So they're doing their best to hold off Mortis' armies, but then Quasar goes to speak to Mortis and tells him that they're the Annihilators, they have cosmic power, and that they've been holding back. And if Mortis doesn't let them bring the planet back into their universe, then they can pretty much put a huge dent in Limbo. And so Mortis agrees, and he just decides to let them live because apparently he scanned Quasar's timeline and seen alternate futures, and he's decided that Quasar has some important destiny and that he should let them live. So Quasar tells the Annihilators the good news, and they move Wraithworld back into regular space. But when that happens, Dr. Dread, who's apparently revealed to be a Skrull, sends a bunch of Deathwings, Hellhounds, and Wraith Watchers to attack them. And once that happens, though, Dread's trying to summon a spell that's going to turn the Wraith Queen and the Wraith species into new Skrulls, since the Skrulls and the Wraith species have similar genetic heritage. So he's trying to create a new Skrull empire. And the others take action, get through all of Dread's minions, and they get to him, but then the Wraith Queen fights back and gets into Dread's head, breaking his concentration on the spell, which negates it. And now the Annihilators have to deal with the Black Star consuming the Galadorian sun. And so Silver Surfer gets an idea by using Quasar's quantum energy as a power source and Ronin's hammer to concentrate it all. They could pretty much stop the supernova from the Black Star consuming the sun, and they are by combining the Black Sun and the Galadorian Sun to one thing. And of course, so now Silver Surfer believes that now they've achieved balance and that hopefully the two races can now learn from each other constructively. So now they move Wraithworld to a new position which is opposite the new star. You have Galador facing the bright sun and Wraithworld facing the black star. And now apparently Galador and the Wraith species are at some sort of treaty. And in the end, the Annihilators are just getting ready to kick back, but then they get called to duty. And we get a teaser here saying that the Annihilators, for a new Annihilator series in September called Annihilators Earthfall. I'm not so sure if I'm going to get this. Honestly, if the issues are going to be $4.99 like they were for this one, I'm not going to get it. I'm probably just going to wait for the trade to come out. Okay, Annihilators number 4 and Annihilator. Okay, for the entire series, it started out good. It started to show these characters as being the mighty, powerful beings of the Marvel Universe. I mean, the way Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning have these guys portrayed is that they are supreme. They're practically the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe right now. And a little tease about what's in store for Quasar. Apparently he has some huge destiny. And I would say that this series was completely awesome, but when they used the Skrulls are my main beef with this story. When they had Dread revealed as a Skrull, I just thought that was stupid. They didn't need Skrulls, okay? They did not need Skrulls at all for this story. It just seemed stupid, okay? Yes, we get that. The Skrulls have been happening since I thought since Secret Invasion, Marvel's going to lay off the Skrulls, but apparently I was wrong. It's just pretty much boring. They're pretty much boring at this point. Annihilators, though, if you are a fan of the Marvelous Cosmic Heroes, and if you are a fan of Danny Abnett and Andy Lanning, then I'd say wait for the trade to come out for this and pick it up. Oh, also there was the Rocket Raccoon and Groot co-feature, but I hated it, and it sucked. That's why I'm not reviewing it. Giving it a full review, at least. Alright, now for my last Marvel. Ultimate Spider-Man 159. we're the second to last issue of The Death of Spider-Man. Peter shows up. He tells Kraven, Electro, and Sandman that he's got S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the other heroes right behind him, but they call his bluff and start attacking him. Peter is able to break a hydrant and short-circuit Electro and knock him out. But then everyone in the... Stupid ads. Then everyone in the neighborhood starts to see him, and they all notice, and they all start to take pictures of him without his mask, and he asks if someone can call 911. But then Sandman attacks. But while that happens, Vulture reappears and attacks as well. And now Peter's pretty much getting his ass handed to him. And then while driving, Aunt May gets a call from one of her neighbors that says, May, apparently your nephew is Spider-Man, and he's fighting these very dangerous villains who are practically killing him. So then Aunt May turns the car around. Peter, he's almost beaten, and then Electro's about to unleash the killing blow, but then Electro gets shot in the chest, which causes him to lose control of his electricity, and apparently just shoot it all off, which takes out Vulture and Sandman as well. And apparently the gun was fired by Aunt May. So Peter goes and talks, and then Gwen checks on Bobby and Johnny Storm, and they're both fine. And just when it seems like Aunt May and Peter can relax for a moment, Norman Osborn's back in action. Not good. And then we got a little bit here that says to be concluded. Alright. Ultimate Comics 150, Ultimate Spider-Man 159. This was definitely a good issue. I mean, I really liked it when that was just so unexpected with Aunt May having a gun and using it on Electro. She was the one who saved Peter. I can't believe that. That was freaking amazing. I cannot wait for the final issue. I want to see Peter's final fight with Osborn, see how that works out. Maybe they'll both die. Who knows what will happen. A little note about what I'm going to do for the final issue, though. It will be in a plastic bag like The Death of Johnny Storm was, but I didn't review Death of Johnny Storm because I had to be out of town that week, so that's why there was no review on it. But I'm probably going to keep the comic in the bag and probably just talk about it briefly. I'm going to keep the comic in the bag. I'm not going to show anything. Just going to say whether or not you should pick it up, whether it's worth it to pick it up or not. Okay, so in conclusion, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 159. Amazing thing by Aunt May here. I cannot wait for this, see the final issue, what's going to happen to Peter and Osborn. Annihilators number 4. This series could have been awesome if you got rid of the Skrulls. And Batman Robin number 24. Wait till next. If you weren't waiting on giving this story a chance, just wait till next issue. It's going to be the final issue. This one's not that interesting at all. Just all we learn is how... All we know is that whoever wants Jason alive has some leverage on him with his former sidekick. That's all. And that's all I have to say. Spider-Man 1991... Oh, one more thing. Before people ask me about what I think of the new DC relaunch, I'm working on an article for my blog right now, and I'm probably going to put it on there because I want to wait and see what all the new series are going to be like. All the teasers and solicitations and stuff. I want to see... I'll probably get the full story on that. Then I'll get everything put together for an article on my blog. I'll put a link to it in the description. And also, I changed my Twitter account from Nightwing 1991 to Spider-Man 1991 to match my YouTube channel. So there we go. And that's all I have to say. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.